Hi friends of the Playhouse, my name is Ethan Ham. I'm a professor at Bradley University and I teach something really fun there. I teach students how to make games, and today I want to teach you how to make games. In particular, I want to teach you how to be a game designer. You may have heard the term game designer, but let me just explain it a little bit because people often confuse it with game artist. They hear the word design and they think design means visuals and therefore game artist. That's not what design means. There's all sorts of designers. There's people who design dances, there's people who design lighting for theater, there's people who design sound for movies, so it doesn't have to be the visuals. And in the case of games, a designer is the person who comes up with the rules to the game, maybe the story as well. And it's an important part of making games. The four main roles in making games are game designer, game programmer, game artist, and game producer. And a producer is a person who sort of manages the project. They're the person who makes sure everyone's keeping to their schedule, getting their work done all right, which is another great role to have. But today we're going to do game design. If you don't know how to program or you don't have a computer at home, no worries, because game designers aren't game programmers. What we do is we come up with the ideas, and we often need a way of experimenting with the ideas before we hand it off to the game programmer. And we really want to have the ideas fully formed and as fun as possible before we give it to the programmer, because programming is a lot of work. And once you give something to a programmer, they have to work a long time and spend a lot of effort to take your idea and make it playable on something like a Nintendo Switch. So before you ask them to do that, you want to make sure you know what you're asking them to do. And so what game designers do is they do what's called paper prototypes. And paper prototypes look a lot like a board game. It's what we do is we take the game we want to make. Let's say, let's go Eevee or Super Smash Brothers or whatever game you like. And what they do is they come up with a way to play it on paper, as a board game, so that they can test out how it feels to play before all the time and energy and money is put into actually making it. So I'm going to show you today some ways of making paper prototypes. We're actually going to start with a game that's existing and adapt it and try to make it into a better game. So let's do that right now. So here we are with Candyland, which is a game maybe you've played yourself. It's a very simple game. You just draw a card, it has colors on it, and you move to a space based on the color. So if there's two blue colors on your card, you move two blue spaces. And I'm here with Connor, and Connor's going to help me come up with a new rule for the game. And I like Candyland for this as a game designer because it's such a simple game. It's easy to come up with new rules, add them to them, and make it a better game. And so Connor, we were talking about maybe adding something to change how you move in the game. What's your idea?
You just pick two cards and then you give one to the challenger. So
I have two cards. I get to pick one for myself, and I give one for the other person, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you have here one that's a double blue and a yellow. Let's say you drew those cards. Which one are you going to keep and which one are you going to give to me?
I want to give to you yellow.
Okay, that makes sense. So you move two blue spaces, and I move. I think you moved to here, bud.
But look.
Oh, you hit the pass. Does it work that way? All right.
Yeah.
And I'm going to move to one yellow. So now I draw two cards. I have a double green and a red, and I think I'll give you the red, and I'll use the double green. And there's a couple things I like about this change. One is it's added player choice to the game. Now we are making decisions. Candyland is sort of notable for you don't actually get to decide anything as you play it. The card tells you what to do. So now we get to tell the cards what to do a little bit. The other thing that's nice about it is it's probably going to end up having a faster game, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. So we'll be able to play the game more times. All right, well, thank you, Connor. So if you want to be a game designer, I have some things you can do at home. The first is just think about it. As you play video games, think about what's fun and how could it be made more fun. What's not fun? How could you change the game to get rid of whatever isn't as fun as it could be? Also, ask other people who play the game, what do they like about it? It might be different than what you like about it, and that's something that's really important to learn about. The next thing you could do is you could pick a favorite video game, let's say Fortnite, and make a paper prototype version of it. Make a board game of your own that replicates what the game is. And if you do that, the next step would be to play test it. Take that game you invented and play it with your friends and family and figure out how to improve on it from there. What could you do to make your game even more fun? Or if parts of it gets boring, if it takes too long to get to the action, how could you change the game so it's more exciting and it's more fun? Lastly, you can do what I showed you how to do, which is to go and find a board game in your house and change it. It could be a small change. You could play the game the way it's normally played, but just add your own rule or two to make it a little more fun. Or you can make it a completely different game and just use the pieces in a new way. So have fun, good luck. I can't wait to see what you did.